listener production.
G'day everybody, Rusty here. Welcome to another edition of Drivers Only, a brand new pod that we've added to the garage, offering a project that Southern Cross Austereo is proudly doing in conjunction with Supercars. We released our first ep recently in the run-up to the Townsville round. If you haven't heard that yet, check it out when you finish listening to today's episode. You can get Drivers Only via the free listener app, all your usual pod outlets, and via the Supercars YouTube channel. Tell your mates about it too, please. As the name suggests, it's drivers only. Their thoughts and words on all sorts of topics happening in the sport as we gear up for the Sydney Motorsport Park Round, which is always epic. So I'm going to shut up. I'll hand the reins over to Cam Waters, who joined us on the shortcast recently after his NASCAR appearance in California. Mark Winterbottom is on the panel today too. Fitting, he grew up right near SMSP. And my maniac mate, David Reynolds, is back on the mic. Who knows where this will go? Enjoy the latest edition of Drivers Only.
Hello guys, welcome to episode 2 of Drivers Only. I've been called in, it's only 15 minutes from home, so I couldn't say no. Davey Reynolds is
you
back,
can say no.
and we've got a mute button for Davey, just in case anything gets too out of hand. And the superstar, Mr. Cam Waters, who doesn't have a team uniform, but
He's got an iron
podcast.
shirt. Oh no, he doesn't have an iron shirt.
That's ironing itself with body heat.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Body iron.
Well,
What a lucky shirt.
we went...
You're
We'll
good
talk
at
about
this.
Townsville. We'll talk about Townsville, right? Because that's the last race that we did. We might as well start with Cam because he was a rock star.
He won the Saturday.
Won the Saturday, one practice,
He won practice.
Both
One
practices.
practiced.
both
Yeah.
practices.
You won
It was a
pole.
good weekend. Really
Yeah,
good weekend.
Pole position.
Was it 2 poles or one?
One.
One.
Just missed out on Sunday. It was like .001 or something to LeBrock. But
You suck.
Should have shaved your head. If he
Can't
shaved his
believe it.
head,
I know. If he pissed,
yeah,
there's that.
bit of weight. That
Bit of
cost
weight.
me.
yeah. So what are you
That
going
was-
to do different?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the toilet in Sydney
So
before
why?
every
Why was
session.
it such a good weekend? Tell me.
Well, we
Because
had
clearly we didn't have one.
we had a really good Perth. Then we sucked in Darwin, and then kind of worked out what we did between the two and what we've been good and bad this year. And
Tell me.
What'd you do?
Exactly.
It's all- It's all secrets. It's all secrets. Yeah, we just rolled out of the truck and it was super fast. Like, from the first lap in practice, you kind of know if you're on or
You
not,
do,
right?
yes.
And the thing felt like a bit of a jet and probably made it a little bit better through practice as well. And from that point, I just kind of hoped the weekend was going to keep rolling, right? And yeah, cool to obviously get the pole Saturday and the win on Saturday. That was a mega race. Like, I had so much fun, like all the battles and stuff up the front with a bit of rain and whatnot. And then, yeah, Sunday we're still pacey, just got beaten by probably a bit quicker strategy.
You didn't take each other out either. I was
Why are you
banking
looking at
on
me?
it. No.
Chaz and
Him
I.
and Chaz, yeah.
We've grown up.
I thought there was
I
two
don't know
easy
about that.
positions. When I saw him on the big screen, I was going to move forward 2 straight away.
Yeah. No, we actually raced pretty good together. It was pretty surprising, to be honest. So
It changed.
Could you see Will Brown coming? And was your team telling you that he was coming? Because, like, obviously, when you fight each other, you go slower.
yeah, so that middle stint, I caught Chaz towards the end, and the gap to Davison was like 7 seconds when we started it, and then by the end of the
He's on you. He
he
passed
was
you.
on to us. I'm like, what is going on, guys? And then yeah, the last stint, similar thing with Will Brown. Knew he was coming, but had probably a bit more car speed in that last stint, a bit more tyre over Chaz, so he tried to get it done a bit sooner. And yeah, I knew Will had to pass a few cars as well.
I don't know how. We struggled. When we followed cars, we struggled massively.
Really?
But then when you were following
I was struggling by
Jazz,
myself too.
You just struggled
That
through
was
life,
Dave.
mate.
Pretty much.
but you guys could pass and still truck on. Like, it was pretty impressive, wasn't it? I thought it was one of the best races too from
Yeah,
that we've seen
my
from a
car
long
was
time.
unreal. Like, it was really good. So, I could race and I didn't really drop off any pace after I passed someone, where Darwin, it was opposite. Like, I'd get behind someone and I'd just start
Blow
going
your
slow.
tyres out.
Yeah, just blew the tyres off. I think it was a
Blew your front tyres
temperature
off.
thing.
Yeah.
Blew everything off.
What
Well,
about-
we
what
had
about the
that.
wet?
We have that.
when it rained though. Like,
My car got better.
Did
in
it?
the wet. Yeah, it's like it cooled the tyre down the way I went. It was awesome.
because
You
we
guys?
struggled, didn't we? When it rained,
little
like the
bit, yeah.
tyre was already
On the limit.
on the limit.
We were on the limit.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then
the tyre made it worse.
Do you
so-
have any moments in the wet?
Nah, it was all pretty tame.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about you.
Righto, mate.
Yeah. No, I was had plenty, but yeah, not Dave.
Maybe you weren't trying hard enough.
Probably wasn't trying hard enough.
Yeah, how were your weekends?
Yeah, not very good. We rolled out of the truck pretty average. Struggled for a lot of drive and
You had a
didn't make it
motor
any better.
issue or something?
Yeah, my motor sort of packed it in on Friday. We didn't work it out till Friday night. Yeah, cracked a cylinder head or something like that.
Oh, right.
Or cracked a
You got
piston.
out of rides.
Yeah, I got out of the last ride.
You did 3 rides and then parked it.
So I pulled the button off at pit lane and then smoke pissed out, and I was like, oh.
A few big over revs, make sure she was
No,
done properly.
I
or-
didn't know. I didn't know the whole rule. If you got a weak engine, you're actually supposed to make it blow up.
Yeah. Just
Because
finish it.
then you get a new one.
Chernobyl
It's
it.
not out of your allocation or something like that. I think I just gave away a trade secret.
And what
I
about
think we're all onto it,
I
mate.
think you're all onto it anyway. So,
And what about
but yeah, we rolled out of the truck and had no drive. Hey, and we were watching your
braking?
car.
Braking was a big issue too.
Well, it was braking
couldn't
and
brake.
dry. We all sucked it. Well, I sucked at it anyway. And the guys, we tried everything we could try. It still didn't make a difference. So whatever was inherent in our car, we just couldn't fix it.
Yeah, right.
So we're watching your car in the shootout, and I was like we always sit down and watch the shootout as a team, regardless. And it's like, I want my car to do that. I want to do that. And
Yeah.
we just still couldn't make it any better. So
There was
Yeah,
one
this
point
is-
you had good drive though. When you drove right up to the back of Will Brown, I thought that was
no, I
you had
wasn't
really good
beside
drive
him.
out of 2.
I
You drove
yeah.
past him. Your drive was unbelievable.
So we started like
I don't know what you're
16th
complaining
still
about,
wheel
mate.
spinning.
we started 16th and 17th on the grid, and all year he's been hosing me off the start. And we actually got first time in ages. We were side by side. We had a drag race down to the bridge. Like that was the actual race in our team.
That's
One
for
and
pink
done
slips.
for
We're
team
going.
18.
We're going.
And it was pretty much a
It was
dead,
identical.
dead heat.
Was it?
Yeah.
Complete dead
Yep.
heat. It was a dead heat 0 to 100 time.
So what's the go? You took Will Brown out. That's a bit.
Well, I didn't take him out per se. Like he took himself out.
He said it was your fault.
Well, no, he didn't. So what happened was, where did he start? Just in front of us or behind us?
7, 8?
No, he was behind
He
us.
was behind us.
Yep.
And we're going into one. He was on someone like hit me, and then ran a bit wide through one, so he got the cutback and like got past me. But he said he thought he had enough drive to clear me, but I wasn't. I was just hanging on the edge, and Mark was on the inside. Will was in the middle. He was the meat and the sandwich, and I was on the outside, the other piece of bread. And we're going down to turn 3, and I was like half there, and Will didn't see me. He just come across, and then
So
turned
he
himself
started
around.
behind you. You said you had the best start ever.
No, I didn't have the best start, but we had the same
Oh,
start.
so you both
No.
had bad starts.
We both had
but
To
that
be
was the
fair,
same.
to be
Okay.
fair,
They were
I think we were looking at each other,
so much.
wondering who won, going through 2.
Yeah, I was only concentrating. I wasn't concentrating on people
There's
around
someone
me.
passed us, and we're like, hey. But then we got him. We
I
got
was
him,
like,
Cam.
I was like, I got to the bridge and I thought I won. I was like fist pumping him. It was so funny.
So you're
Dickheads.
you're championship contender now.
Oh, it's a big call.
What's
mate.
your limit?
Hey, how was your weekend? You were fast in practice. You were in the press.
Yeah,
room.
I was in the conference with you, and then, anyway, not enough about our weekends. What do you reckon about the new car? You reckon it's easier to race because that
The new
race
car?
Yeah, like
Oh,
the
like
Gen
the Gen
3
3
car
car.
versus
Yeah, I think you can follow a lot closer.
because that race on Saturday, like we do sometimes cop criticism for racing, but like that's one of the best races we've seen for
I think
a long time.
You can follow better, right? You can
100%.
You're probably half the gap to what the old car would be to this car, I think, which helps. Being able to brake and outbrake someone or lunge someone. I think still probably a little bit of tyre stuff we need to work on, like
what?
Darwin. It was just all so sensitive to heat.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't pass anyone there, but then you go to Townsville and it's maybe
not
a
as
little bit cooler
corner
and
specific too.
corner
and
specific, and you could race awesome. So I think it's probably one of the best races in the Gen 3 era. What do you guys think?
Well, I think they're still improving it. Like I think last year the brakes were an issue, but
That seems to be fixed.
it's a lot better. Yeah, so good, really good technical director there last year. Is that good that we pinched him? So, so sport.
So you got all the
and then we
secrets.
lost Teddy. You lost Teddy from Tickford.
Yeah. Teddy's doing good in supercars. I'm rating him. What do you guys think?
Have you gone a lot better since he's gone there?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
All the secrets, you reckon?
Does he wear a Tickford shirt under that white
Well, we've
shirt?
actually
I think he
been
must.
up and down a lot, so he hasn't been helping us a lot. If he has been, but
No, it's just one of those years. It's so hard. Like you turn up every weekend and you don't know how you're going to go. Like how you're going to roll out of the truck, or it's so hard, isn't it? Like how you going to go
The-
the next round?
the cars are just so sensitive, right? Like,
They're super sensitive, and there's still heaps of variation in them. So everyone can get lost engineering-wise, and there's so many variations within setup that, you can have a car that does things a lot different to the bloke you're racing, but you achieve the same lap time. It's quite cool.
yeah, everyone was thinking, these new cars are going to be like a Porsche, right? Where, everyone's got the same and end up at the same setups. But it's nearly like the opposite at the moment. I think the cars are so sensitive. You have some teams nail it one weekend and then nowhere the next. It's actually quite interesting how up and down it's been with them.
I still think we need some small variation between, not as in like different tyres or anything, but just like a DRS system. I think that would be really easy to make, really easy to implement, and that would promote passing. It would just promote more passing and promote more chaos. People want to watch chaos. They don't want to watch.
We just come out of a weekend. I think it was like 61 passes for a race. Like that's
but that's
incredible.
One race.
That was you and Chaz.
Long?
You did 60 of them.
Yeah, that's one race in how many races we?
But I reckon in Brazil, they run a throttle map that runs at 70% flat out, like when you're cruising around, and there's a push to pass button, and it's artificial, but it's actually really cool because what you do, it's strategic as well as where you pass someone. There's a 2-minute delay, and you only get a certain amount of pushes per.
I'm already confused.
Per race.
I like that idea.
So when you're
prefer
following
that.
someone, you can't use it on a restart. So there's certain criteria that they hit, but if you press it out of a corner, say Interlagos, the last corner, you get it for, I think it was 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You would go 20, 30 kilometres faster than the car, so you'd pass it.
Yeah,
but then
right.
they could press the button
Come back at you.
and react on the next straight and pass down the next straight. But then it's 2 minutes
to the
stop
next
time until you
yeah.
can press it again.
So is it the same as NASCAR, isn't it? They've got a push to pass system.
No.
They don't.
IndyCar does. doesn't it?
IndyCar does.
IndyCar.
Yeah, sorry.
But it works really
But
well.
how was NASCAR anyway? Like,
It was awesome. Like the cars are probably pretty similar to our Gen 2 cars. Like
Yeah, really?
The weight, like they're quite heavy. Lots of power, big tyre, not that much aero though. So they're pretty loose, but the braking was much the same as what we race here. So
I thought
quite
they had
cool.
really small brakes.
What about the H pattern?
It's
That
a
was sick.
sequential.
Oh, sequential,
Yeah,
is
so
it?
the truck was a H pattern, but
Yeah.
the cup cars are sequential. Same box as what we run, but it was a 5-speed with no gear cut, so you got to lift off the throttle. So it was cool. The racing over there was probably the biggest thing. Like, there's no rules. You can bump someone or move someone out the way, but there's a level of respect amongst the drivers. So if I hit you, I know you're going to probably hit me back. So you try and race cleanly. Where if you're just holding me up, you probably
Get turfed.
expect to get moved out the way. So I thought that was quite cool how they race
kind of expect that
over
in
there.
our series, don't you?
Yeah,
Imagine if you were like just
but you
white
do
lining
that.
it for laps at a time, you're going to get drilled.
you do that, but then you half expect a 5-second penalty. So it's, for me, that's probably the
You
biggest
think
thing.
we need to be more relaxed on that side?
Well, yeah, talking, I guess, about our series, I think that would be awesome to implement. Like, just get rid of all the penalties and
Just a hit
open her
list,
up.
like
And
a to kill list.
you want chaos and carnage, Dave. That's probably the best way to do
Mate,
it, right?
I'm for that because that's what I want to watch.
It's an entertainment sport, so
It is.
I think could be a cool addition.
What are you looking at me for? Oh,
What are
I
you
thought you wanted
drinking,
me to-
mate?
Hey, I'm drinking water and salt out of a jar. Everyone gives me shit about this.
I think it's fantastic.
So it's just salt,
What?
water
It's
and
like-
salt.
Well, I'm not going to drive around with like a cup, am I? It's like this is my mobile device I use to drink water. If I drive around with a cup, it's going to like spill everywhere and go everywhere. So
What about-
it's got a lid.
What about like the rest of the world? Just a bottle of water.
Well, that's plastic. I'm trying to avoid plastic.
You can't do
So
plastic.
back on racing, we're all hydrated over here. What would you pick? Car, track, event in the world? What?
Where would we go?
First of all, I reckon. What about a supercar event with a wish list, and then what about a NASCAR event with a wish list with those cars, and then any car wish list?
So if I was driving a supercar, I'd love to race at Macau. Have our series race at Macau. I reckon that'd be completely
That'd be
insane.
unreal.
Because you're a
Just-
gambler, though.
I'm loving the American stuff at the moment. So I think doing the Chicago race in a supercar, that would be cool. Or even Sonoma, what I did, like that track was unreal. So much undulation and heaps of passing. I think our cars would be sick there. Other than that, like I'd probably love to do Monaco. I don't think it'd be that good racing
What,
wise.
in our cars?
We would pass.
In our
It'd
cars.
be better in our cars.
It
than a
It would be.
Formula One
It
car.
would be a lot better in our cars, but I reckon that'd be unreal.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I don't know.
It'll never happen, but
No, of
Are you
course
thinking
not.
about holiday destinations?
pretty
like-
much. Yeah, I'd love to check out Monaco and
It's too expensive to go, so we'll go with the sport.
100%.
Monaco's pretty sleepy town.
Is
Pretty
it?
boring, yeah.
What about
That's
you,
pretty
Frosty?
cool, though.
Oh, I like street races, so I reckon
Yeah.
I'd like Chicago.
Bang Sen.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Bang Sen?
Who?
It's like a
Bang
Thailand.
what?
Bang Sen, I think it's called. It's like a Thailand street race. It's completely out of control. It's like Monaco, just Bang Sen.
Be pretty cool.
What about Bairnsdale Street Grand Prix and go-kart?
The go-kart race.
Yeah.
You had a pretty
we were
good-
talking about that the
I
other
hit a hay
day.
bale there and it really hurt.
Where was that?
Bairnsdale Street Grand Prix. Did you do that?
Didn't you hit something pretty bad in China as well?
Yeah, it wasn't an apex on that day, that's for
Oh, that
sure.
was great. Nearly cut
Yeah,
you
it
in
was
half.
great. Yeah.
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 Nearly lost your jewels,
So-
right?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Nearly.
Didn't you feel
Nearly.
like a
Yeah,
warming
that was
sensation?
pre-kids.
Is that right?
Hey?
You felt like it was pre-kids, like a
was
warming,
pre-kids,
a
still-
warming sensation?
No.
Warming.
No,
I
it
thought you-
definitely wasn't a warming
I
sensation.
thought you felt like, because it cut the car pretty much where you
So I
sit,
cut
you
the
could-
car in half, which was an issue because the roll cages are quite thick, and it nicked the bottom of the seat. So I took a big
Whoa.
chunk out of the seat. So the
Jeez.
seat's about 30 mil. I'm not 30 mil, Dave. But the seat's about 30 mil, and it took about 20 mil chunk out of it. So it was only about 10 mil
That's so
between
bad.
that grate and
So it was just
my
the
bits.
grate that cut your car.
Yeah.
So the grate stood up or
So-
something, or
so
Just got
in
jammed.
true workmanship, one guy did his job really well and one guy did his job really poorly. So he welded one end of the
half
grate
of it,
really well,
yeah.
and the other guy must have been on smoker. He did a terrible job. So it flung up, stuck
Oof.
in the welding bits that were done properly. And out of 34 cars back then, like this is where odds are percentages. 33 cars got past it, and the car ahead of me, who was John Bauer, flicked it up, and I was the next car behind
Oh.
it. So out of 34 people, I was the anyway. So we
What?
went shopping on Sunday. We went to the markets because I was
your car
out.
was done. Yeah,
It was done. It was like $200,000 worth of damage.
Oh,
shit.
And then
wow.
Larko kept that grate in his office because he's like, this cost me 200 grand. He wasn't letting it go.
Of course he wouldn't
he put it
know.
in his office as a memento. You walk in and
There's the grate.
Yeah,
What,
tell me
what
about
year
the
was
grate.
that?
2005.
2005. Yeah, that was a really cool track. That track
Shanghai.
that was really cool. That long turn one corner.
Yep. That'd
It
be
just
terrible
kept-
in our car.
It was
terrible
so
in our
pushy,
car.
but the back straight was 300k. It was so cool,
Yeah,
that track. Yeah.
Really?
How many rounds have you done? You'd be going on all-time high, wouldn't you?
I'm getting
Passing Lounsey, wouldn't you?
getting there.
What's Lowndes?
when's
How
that?
many
I think
rounds has
he's
got?
670 something,
670.
So
Where
what
are
are
you
you?
at?
630 or something.
So what round can you like take over his?
Well, I don't know because he keeps
his
doing
mantle?
bloody enduro, so it's killing it.
Oh yeah, he
isn't it?
keeps getting like maybe
Pushing
two.
it out.
Does 2 a year. and
Yeah.
it just keeps coming back. So it keeps like the benchmark keeps moving. I don't know.
Question, guys, changing subject. Who's impressed you this year?
Who's impressed me? Myself.
Yourself. Why?
No one. No one impresses me. Now, who has? If I was to talk about something, maybe Ryan Wood. I reckon he's
Ryan
actually
Wood?
done a good job.
Woody?
After his like baptism of fire in the first round, he's actually done really good ever
Yeah.
since then. So yeah.
You had a cool race with him in Perth.
Mm.
Yeah.
When you think about the amount of limited experiences he has had, it's quite cool to watch someone so young to come through the field, done like 1 year of DVS and then straight in the main series, and then he's racing us.
Into
and
it.
Feels like he's been doing it for years.
Yeah. What about you, mate?
I reckon Matt Payne, like you obviously race with him.
Yeah, of
but
course, yeah.
He's in a good car, but he
Yep.
just seems unfazed. He's one of those blokes that
He's
he doesn't overthink.
he's half
anything.
asleep.
Yeah.
That's why
He's half asleep. Yeah,
he's half asleep.
but he's driving.
Well, he was supposed to be here, wasn't he? Isn't that right? Yeah, he was. So I wonder what Matt Payne is doing
he actually
right now.
wants to play. He actually wants to play paddleball.
Really?
He's
Play
been
what?
watching too much Monaco, but he wants to play some paddleball. There's a couple of courts under the Baldy Bridge. You know, like tennis, but the paddleball
yeah.
tennis thing. Anyway,
Who was the most funnest teammate you've had? Funnest.
still got him, mate.
I love you.
It's a bit awkward because Cam's here.
I'll say you too, Dave.
Oh,
sorry,
thanks, mate.
Frosty.
You don't have to say me.
You're a unit,
Besides
mate.
me.
You're a
Besides
unit.
me.
I think we all have fun, don't we? Like we had some good times. Tickford.
Yeah.
And,
Glenn Lindsay.
Glenn Lindsay.
Our
Oh
physio.
my goodness, what an icon.
I've been lucky. I've had awesome teammates. Like since I went in, obviously with you and Chaz, and had Bridie, you,
Bridie?
Stanaway, obviously Tom now. He's a unit. I've been pretty lucky.
What else have you had?
About it, isn't it?
DVS guys, Super
Oh,
2
DVS,
guys.
yeah. Gas Pedal, LeBrock.
Gas pedal,
yeah,
gas pedal,
gas pedal.
Gary.
Cordo is a bloody legend.
He's pretty funny, eh?
Story time with Cordo was unreal.
So do you like you know how like these days how we can't pair our man drivers up? Do you wish they reverse that?
Not really. I think
No.
it'd just be too hard because everyone's got their
Well, it
own
sort of takes
sponsors.
yeah,
and
exactly.
Just,
And then it takes half the cars out of the race.
But
But it'd be really cool if I could drive with him or I could drive with you or.
But gives the guys value as well because, like, you know, Carouse and
But that's probably what the team owners don't want.
I know, but I think it's good because it gives them guys
Yeah.
value as well instead of being
It's like a
in the second
retirement
car or
program,
whatever
isn't
you
it?
call it. And then on any day, anyone can win. I reckon the sport's
Better
like going to
with it.
Bathurst. There's no favourite.
Yeah.
There's everyone who thinks will win, but
And what about how I think they changed the rule this year? Correct me if I'm wrong, but we have to start the car.
there is a rule. Yeah,
They
Yep.
brought that
Is that
in 'cause
happening?
I think I don't know if it is, but they've been talking
There's
about it
talks
for
of it, yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I actually hate start. I like watching the co-driver.
Yeah, so do I.
same.
Yeah.
I'm always talking the
You know-
engineer in to put the co-driver in.
Yeah.
My last engineer
so you can
wouldn't
get in without
Yeah,
the stress.
yeah.
he
just
wouldn't
chill out,
start
watch it.
Caruso. He's like, you start regularly, you do it. And then Caruso goes, give me a chance. Stand down. He did a 3-4, 0 to 100.
Holy
he passed
shit.
2 rows.
He's starting the Bathurst.
Well, maybe not, but
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, just give me the chance. And when he did it, he was the best start we did all year. So
So do you think that's a good rule or a bad rule?
What
I think
they've
it's a
done?
bad rule, yeah.
Oh, I think it's a bad one. I think so. Because it all like there's many different reasons, but I understand why they're trying to do it from a TV perspective. It's like the biggest event of the year. They're all talking about it, and then there's these blokes that aren't part of our championship full time anymore, starting the biggest race of the year. So
Yeah.
I kind of get it, but for us, it sort of hems everyone into the same sort of strategy, and it's really hard to go off strategy and do something different.
may make him pit early, though. You know, like Bathurst,
Yeah,
the
there's
12
all-
to 15 lap
yeah.
window.
there's that
might,
early one, yeah. There's
might change that, and then
Like-
some guys might do 22 laps or
like I
whatever.
said,
it is.
Yeah.
there's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
We don't really know because we haven't done it yet. So yeah, I don't really want to
Who have you
start
got?
anyway.
You got Moff.
Moff again, yeah.
Moff
Yeah.
dog.
He's a legend.
He's so cool.
He just comes, sits in my car, doesn't change anything.
Doesn't
just
care.
does a good
What
job.
a legend.
Yeah, he's a mad
No
dog.
seat insert.
Nah.
That's what Luffy's like, isn't he?
That's the best. If you can
I
get
also
someone
I won't
seat,
let him do it
Yeah.
on the seat, but
but if you can get someone that sits in your seat, it's half the battle done.
100%. Yeah, it's good.
What are you looking at me for? It
Oh,
definitely
do you have
doesn't happen
something,
in my
Dad?
car.
Hey,
It doesn't happen in my car.
you got a booster seat.
I got Carouse.
Hey, we're talking about things that we could like change, obviously with push to pass and DRS. What do you guys think of a NASCAR-style playoffs for our championship?
Oh, I reckon that's pretty lame, but
Lame?
yeah, because the championship is done by the championship year.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to like add any extra like complexity to that.
To
I
it.
find it hard to follow.
All that
Like,
playoff stuff. Yeah,
the
same.
playoff, like,
same in
it's-
ice
Yeah.
hockey. There's the playoff series and all that basketball stuff. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But if you know, our sport's pretty complex, and the simpler you can make it, the easier it is to follow.
I guess if you race through the year, right, say we call it, if we get back to 14 rounds, if it happens, first 9 races, it's all about getting in the playoffs. And then the last 5, it's all our big races, right? Sandown, Bathurst, Gold Coast, Adelaide, all the big ones. So you got more people in the hunt. You're probably going to have more eyes on the sport potentially because they're the big races.
So how
right.
does it work though? Like if because our sport's dominated by certain, you know, like you
So I
might go a
guess-
year like say Giz and Brody,
Yeah.
where they win a lot of the races.
Yeah. So
But
I guess
there'll
if
only
you,
be 2 blokes in the playoff, or how
yeah,
do
but
you?
if you, yeah,
no,
Is
but
it
you
top
know,
10
like,
or top
last
9?
year,
Or,
yeah, like last year, there was more people to win races than just those 2 at the start of the year. So the first, say, 9 races, whoever wins a race, you're in the playoffs. And then there's-
regardless, you get a ticket.
you get a ticket, and
so
then
even if you finish last everywhere and win one,
you're in.
so that
And then-
might.
so
and
how
then you
many,
could have a
places
points.
have you got? Or this is
I don't
all
know, you-
surmising.
You
This
can
is
just,
not,
yeah,
8 to
maybe,
10.
yeah, take something like that, and then you eliminate them through the last 4 rounds, and
So around all your greens on Saturday.
oh yeah, you're
And
in.
then Sunday
yeah, I
you
suppose
get
everyone
in.
does funny stuff like that
And then
just to
you
get in.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have a few roughies in it, racing for the championship end of the year. I don't know. I think it'd be
Maybe.
cool,
You're like,
and it's the big races.
You're talking me into it.
And then process of elimination, and then,
Yeah,
but then Gold Coast, Bathurst are enduro races, so your co-driver could determine
yeah, that could influence it for sure.
which it does now, but not as heavy as
Yeah.
that potentially. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you could even have Bathurst as more of a standalone, right? If you didn't want to part of, say, the playoffs. But I think being one of the biggest races of the year, it's cool to have that. that element.
You're selling it.
Selling
isn't
it?
he? So you're on board?
You been
I'm
told
on
to
board.
sell it, or you actually
No,
just
I think it's
believe in
cool.
it?
I think it's cool. Something different. Spice it up.
So how does if someone like Gizzy or something like does one off round at Chicago,
Yep.
and he wins it, he qualifies for the playoffs.
I think you have to be a championship regular.
So a wild card
So
can't
he-
come in.
yeah,
And,
yeah. Yeah.
Imagine that, all these wild cards popping up.
Win a race and then you're in.
And then it
Yeah,
goes back
you're
to the
in.
old days. All
Yeah.
the privateers and that.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool.
And then we could just throw in like a speedway race in there as well. So. No?
He asked me to say that.
Sure. Yeah. Have you won
You asked me
have you won
all.
a speedway race? Did you have your first win the other day?
Not in
No.
a sprint car.
No.
No, I've come
Close.
second a few times, but
Yeah.
Have you had any big crashes?
not too big.
Not
Like,
trying hard enough then.
yeah, I'm trying hard enough for sure. I've been on my lid.
Have you?
Yeah. Yep.
I couldn't. I'd
They just
hate
replaced
to
the
race
wing.
one of them.
They've
I would-
replaced the wing and go again.
They're
I know.
unreal.
Yeah.
but I'd
Nah,
hate to
you
race one
love
of them.
it.
You know why?
Why?
Because don't you sit on the bloody like the thing
drive
that-
shaft.
The drive shaft. You sit on that and it
Well,
goes
you-
between you.
You do, but it's,
And what if that was to like
nah,
fail and tear shreds and then just cut your legs off?
Well, it's got stuff around it to hold it.
Yeah, I know,
in.
but like, I don't trust that.
yeah, but you'll be right, mate.
No, I wouldn't be.
Just put your foot flat. You'll be right.
Nah.
Just don't crash. That's the key to
So
it.
No,
What-
but you don't have to crash.
What's your wish list then? So speedway, you're like multi. You got a lot going on at the moment.
I've got
so,
a fair bit going on.
So what would you choose out of the couple of events? So NASCAR, Daytona, Speedway, Knoxville. Might as well say Supercross somewhere because we're throwing another
Supercross.
catery.
We'll throw out the
What-
Supercross.
what are you
'cause I
more
don't do
passionate
too
about?
well.
GT car, 24-hour
Yeah,
spa.
what's
Oh, that's a good one too.
Right, I'd
because
love to do that.
Knoxville
This is hard.
would be cool.
I'm kind of
Why?
It's the
I
mecca
don't- I know
of
nothing
mecca of
about-
speedway. So if you're
yeah,
I know
it's the
nothing
biggest
about-
sprint car race.
Anything.
so what's on your wish list? All of them.
Yeah, pretty well all of them. I'm just trying to tick them all off my bucket list, right? Do them all, but I think Daytona. I think that would be unreal just to be part of that. 100% want to go to Knoxville though. So I've actually kind of been talking to a team over there a little bit about trying to do some racing at Knoxville, but not straight into the Knoxville Nationals. Try and do some like club shows and stuff because it's so much faster.
It's fast, yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of just starting again, like because the speeds are so much quicker than what we do here.
I went there years ago and watched the Knoxville Nationals with Brooke Tatnell was there.
Oh yeah,
I
Showing
remember that
age,
name.
but yeah,
I
Brooke
remember that name.
Tatnell, Skip Jackson, all those
Yeah.
blokes back in the day, and it was like 160 mile an hour fast, like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Really?
But cool event, middle of nowhere, but
yeah.
cool event.
They're so fast, and when the track's prep right and everything, like you just hold it flat. You don't lift at all. So it's-
Really, you just hold it flat, dead
They will
flat,
stand.
and it's just like
and the thing's pinned to the ground, like throws you in the side of the seat. Like you wouldn't experience anything like that in any
Mud.
circuit racing car.
on mud.
What do you reckon? Another idea is like we've got the playoffs, but another idea, and we were chatting about it the other day.
Were we?
Put like the two options. One,
We chat a lot, so.
put the have a mechanic.
mechanics race.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
that'd
mechanics
be
race.
funny.
I reckon I want to push for that really heavily. So you pick someone from the team that hasn't raced. You can't have someone who's got like a smallie or who
Yeah,
has
got
credentials back in the
experience.
day. Probably like the most, because they've got to fix it. So if they're super aggressive and whatever, they've got to fix it. But I reckon a mechanic from each team, a 10 lap, a 10 lap race. No, a 10 lap race. And then that sets the grid for the
So I
For us.
for the main race.
Well,
yeah.
what track could you do it at? Like, what's the most likeliest track you're not going to crash at?
Adelaide. We'll do it at Adelaide, I think.
So-
Roll straight out.
I like part of that, but I think the engineers should qualify it because they give us shit cars occasionally, right? So they need to.
We're part of
live
that, you know.
and
We're
feel
part of the equation.
the
But
shit
what
car
happens when they
give us.
drive it that doesn't understeer and they're really
Yeah, I
fast?
know.
You're
Not going
like-
fast enough.
Yeah. And then I reckon the flow onto that is that you land into a destination, you get a hire car from East Coast Car Rentals, if you know you want a good one,
Yep.
and you roll straight to the track,
Represent.
and in whatever that car is,
You're
5
racing.
lap dash. Instead of doing a track walk, we
Okay.
do a 5 lap dash in the hire car. That sets the grid for the mechanics.
What have you been smoking
The
lately?
I drank some of your water. Then the mechanics jump in, 10 lap dash, and then we start the feature race.
I like it. Is this going to be like something
Is
that's
it televised?
I guarantee it would be.
Oh, apparently it is. God just told me it's going to be.
But imagine that you get a transit versus a someone in a little Swift or something, and whatever you get, you rock up in.
It'll be like the
I like
Days of
your
Thunder
idea.
scene, how they race the car to
The rental cars.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Live pit
Coming up
lane.
and- Yes, that was my next sort of harebrained thing to discuss. Do you like it?
I did.
I did. Yeah, I did.
I hated it at the start of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you love it.
It's all right.
Where are you? Are you?
Third.
What are we, 6th or something? 5th?
We're coming.
Coming. We was
so I guess
high,
what,
we've been as
Triple A?
high as 3rd.
Triple A.
T8, Walkinshaw, us.
Oh, you're close then. You'd be close.
Rose, maybe, after that.
And
Yeah, I
then-
think we're 5 points off Walkinshaw.
But honestly, it is a good thing. It's something we talk about, and it changes round to round, and it creates variation, creates some sort of something to talk about, doesn't it? It's really cool because, we drive down pit lane and we always don't know where we're going to be. So you actually have to concentrate.
To see guys at Darwin miss the...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people stuff it
Didn't
up.
they?
They
It's
missed the pit
perfect.
box, yeah.
Really?
They
Everybody
turned it too
knows,
early
yeah.
or...
They went past in qualifying.
Yeah,
They thought they were
that's
further
right,
down.
yeah.
And, keeps you on
I
your
didn't
toes.
know that.
perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
think
it's made to do.
I think it's been a good thing this year, the whole
Yes.
light
Wish we
pit
did it
lane.
earlier.
Yeah. It's just like
You know what I'd like to
something
do?
small, right?
And this is for TV as well. Like, you know how the green flag goes for practice or qualifying or whatever. Why do we have to wait for the next, say I'm behind you. Why do I have to wait for you to go? Why can't we just all go
Together.
together, pull into pit lane and just drive out?
I don't
That'd
know.
look cool for TV. Plus we get more track time. I only see benefits, so I don't see many negatives.
Do you think you're going to pass everyone? Or you just think it'll look cooler?
Well, it just gets us out on the track easier. And then
People just push back and box you in, they don't they? That's the...
No, but it's at the start of the session. You know how we all have to wait and it's just really slow and monotonous. Why can't we just button off as soon as it goes green on a dash and
into
we just
it.
get going?
I feel like this year, the practices have been all over the joint, right? Like we've done 90 minutes, we've done 45, we've done practices on Saturday and Sunday. Like, what do you guys think of that? Are we nailing it or are we?
Oh, practice is practice. I think we don't do enough to start with, especially when we roll that off the pace. There's not enough practice in the day to sort of fix your day. Every situation creates a variance, I suppose. So, an hour-long session, 1 hour-long session is completely different to 2 half-hour sessions. 2 half-hour sessions, you get to sit down, think about it, go through some data, come up with some ideas, make some larger changes if you want to, and come back and have a swing at it. 9 times out of 10, it probably doesn't do much, but an hour session, you don't have time to think like that. You got to think on your feet and make quick, small, decisive changes. And it really comes down to how many sets of tyres we have to practice and what type of track we're going to, as far as DEG and all that sort of stuff. So, if we do an hour practice at Sydney Motorsport Park where we're going to next week, it's completely useless because the track's so bad, we don't have enough tyres. There's going to be a lot of downtime for TV. So, shorter, sharper practice sessions would be better there because, the DEG's so bad, every lap's, tenths apart, you're not going to learn much. So, what is the practice next week?
90 minutes.
Oh,
Friday night.
Oh, Friday night.
Yeah.
That's quite cool, actually. Yeah, something different.
5:30 or something, 6
Yeah.
o'clock.
What do you think? Do you like it? Or?
You need more tyres, I think. You need more tyres.
100%.
And then, but they've done a good job of implementing some with the handbags and all that sort of stuff.
Yep,
So
that was good.
there's definitely benefits. And
Because remember back in the day, there was no handbags and everyone just used to save tyres for the weekend. And there was Friday practice was didn't mean shit.
Took lotto.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, even races, we use greens now in the race because you have to try and maximise the result. Where previously we'd keep greens for, like back in the day for practice. So, but 90 minutes goes pretty quick because some of the changes on the car take a long time. That's the hard part. So
It
if it changes 30 minutes, you actually just sit there.
Yeah.
Where there's small practice sessions in time, big gap in the middle, you make a big change. And I don't know, there's pros and cons, but
There are always pros and cons for no matter what you do.
but when you
isn't
roll
there?
that fast, like Darwin with
You want-
us, we rolled out and it's like, what do you want to do? And you go, oh, just, I don't know, just sit here for a bit.
Cut and
just
polish it.
admire-
Cut and polish
admire
it.
the time sheet. But and then you roll out to Townsville and you're just tinkering.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if it's 90 minutes, probably too long because you're in a window already. So
One thing that I don't really like is we test, right? We just go to Winton and, the Queensland teams, they just go to QR. What if we banned that, but we had a full test day after an event? So
After an event, not
Yeah.
before.
after an event. So, the Monday after,
Why
sometimes we got ride days.
Yeah.
Don't pick them ones, but say after like Townsville, if we could, on the Monday, it's a full test day for everyone. So all the teams are there, the fans could stay, different element, and then you're actually
Why don't you just
testing
have
at
like
different
a
tracks.
full day of practice on Thursday and no practice on Friday.
Or you could do that as well.
That'd be all right. Makes sense. What about the race formats? You guys like that? Do you like long, short?
I like the longer races.
Like 250 Ks on the weekend was so long for me.
Yeah, I feel like 200 Ks is where it's at.
Yeah, 250 Ks is
Don't
very,
need
very long.
the last 50K. I'm done by that point. I'm tired, ready to go to the pub.
Oh, the long ones are good, but
Yeah.
you need like deg to make the. Otherwise, they all just pit on
Yeah.
the same. Like
But then
Darwin,
there's people out there who talk about they want a tyre that they can go flat out 100% of the time, all the time.
I think the best racing over all the years was Barbagallo when it was just like
Old as.
so bad the
Yeah.
surface. So
Yeah.
like the worst, and like tracks want to give you the best product. That's the
Yeah.
hard part because you go to a track and they've got this brand new surface.
Perfect.
It's actually
It's too perfect.
it's too perfect.
Yeah,
but it's
you don't want that. You want a bit of character.
You want like Townsville actually was quite gritty
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Darwin is still too smooth, like
Yeah.
in many ways. But yeah, and then Perth gets resurfaced and stuff like that. Like you actually need character, like Pookie and some of those old.
They're
And you need the-
resurfacing Bathurst as we speak, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah,
I think
Oh, I
so.
didn't
That's
know
been resurfaced from the last time we were there.
All right. Oh, so it'll be super fast.
Well,
remember
is
last
it?
time it
It's
was
not
bad. Remember,
It's
Yeah.
really bad at the start, and it sort of gets better for a few years, then sort of tails off. But
Remember that year
oh,
after it was 2013 or
14.
14 was it?
14,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
reckon.
it
Yeah,
was
it'll sketch you out.
or was it
really
13?
loose.
Was it 13?
14.
14 they resurfaced
Yeah.
it, and that's when they had the red flag, the intermission.
Turn
and
2.
That was like the best
Yeah.
race of all time.
It was
Yeah.
breaking up, wasn't it?
Holsworth rolled into turn 2 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Him or
Yeah.
Ingle
In the
or
Mercedes.
Yeah, yeah. But that race was sketchy.
There was a DJR car caught fire, I think. Was that year? Oh, no, that was a different year.
Tigford won caught fire. He still talks about it.
What's that? 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, 2008, our car caught fire. I saw Slady's car with the battery on the weekend. Did you
Oh, yeah.
see he took the jump battery for a ride around the track?
No,
Oh, yeah.
And that
What,
brought
did he
back
get
like
fined?
scars from 2008 where,
surely.
Did he get
yeah,
fined
they
for
got
that?
team points or something. But like,
But like, there should have been like because that's so dangerous, like
Yeah.
super, super dangerous shit to do.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
it brought back memories of '08 where the battery was in the boot hitting like when you go to the shopping and your groceries fall around in the bag. And the thing
Went up in smoke.
went up in flames. I remember Campbell Little, he's like, I go, I'm on fire. He's like, yeah, lap times are okay. I'm like, no, I'm on fire. I'm going in, mate. And he's so dry, Campbell. And
He's
he's,
awesome.
yeah, he's like, okay, well, best you pit. It's like, I'm coming
He's a
in.
legend.
That's what I was like at Darwin last year. I'm
If
like,
you were gonna
I'm on
add-
fire.
If you were going to add circuits to our calendar, which ones would you add? So, like, I like going back to Winton, not because it's our test track, just because it always makes good racing, even though the surface is good, which is an outlier. I always like going back there.
I think we need more
Local
street
boy.
tracks.
Well, yeah,
local boy.
and I sort of grew up, went to that track as a teenager, watching cars go around, and I like it.
So I think the
Except
Perth street
Not,
track's going to be sick.
yeah, I can't wait
I would
for that.
take that.
But I would
over
not go to
Winton.
Winton in winter. Doesn't make any sense.
Winton used to fall on my birthday every year.
So you're glad it's
I
gone?
spent about 18
That's-
years of my birthday was at Winton.
That's me at Townsville.
So if I could put it not in May,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But
Where do you
I
want to go for your birthday then?
I reckon we should race in like,
Mykonos.
Texas. Yeah, Texas in May.
Chicago.
Or, is there a track at the Maldives or something? But I'd like to race some of those international events. I know they don't help here, but like we used to do all the events here and overseas. So it was like, and it's good for the crew. Like I actually reckon if we could race in Qatar again or, somewhere in Middle East, because all the team or when we went to Austin, we all branched off and holidayed. The crew, because the cars take so long to get back.
I went to the Indy 500 after.
Yeah.
We did that, didn't we?
Yeah, we went to Indy 500 as well,
You
actually.
did?
Yeah, it was a great race.
It was the 100th.
100th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we
was.
did. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. Different year, though.
Yeah.
I went 13, I think.
Yeah, we got to lap 40 and went to a steak joint. You would have loved it,
I
actually.
would have, yes.
Yeah, so we went there. But I reckon somewhere overseas because the cars, like, gives a crew a holiday. It's an incentive when they come and work for a race team.
It's quite cool.
I reckon it's
yeah.
really cool
Yeah, that would
to
be
race
really
international
cool.
and then.
Yeah.
But
International
unfortunately,
racing drivers.
but it works against you because sometimes they go there and then
They get jobs there.
Like Smalley or someone. Smalley branches off and goes to
NASCAR.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
But that was
Like,
always
what are you
his
seeing
dream,
in
I think.
Charlotte? Oh, just there's some nice, things down here. Yeah.
I think that was
Checking out
always
Lake
his
Norman.
dream.
Yeah. But
Like
yeah.
this young fella here, always his dream.
What
Was
is-
it always your dream to race NASCAR?
Always followed it.
Really?
So,
Always
yeah.
followed it.
And because I obviously grew up on the dirt, watching Speedway and whatnot, and then racing a sprint car, and so I've always kind of followed the oval track stuff. So
So who's coming out of all them? Because if the wild card happens in Adelaide, who would you pick? Like, because we go over there obviously, and
to race here,
yeah, who would you say should come? And
I think Kyle Larson would be unreal.
He's unreal.
He
Apparently.
kind of gets in everything and kills it. Like in a sprint car, he's unreal. And then obviously went and did Indy. Chris Buescher, who was my
Don't know that
teammate.
name.
He was my teammate over there. So it was Brad Keselowski, then it was Chris, and then he was really good. So
Is he like an oval guy or a road course guy?
he's
like both.
he's mainly
he's an all rounder.
He's mainly
like in
ovals,
cricket.
yeah, but he's like in the sim, he was actually really good and he was super fast at Sonoma, so I think he'd be good. I don't know. What about you guys?
Ollie's good in the sim, isn't he?
Ollie?
They should put him straight in.
No,
Straight
it's
in, he's
terrible. No.
I thought one of
Frosty
your
was
kids
good in the
I was
sim.
really bad. He just made me look.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think like those guys, it's good to race different people around the world, but it's
Yeah.
also nice to race them in your gear. Which one's the? Isn't
Kyle.
there
Kyle
one-
Busch.
Yeah, Kyle. He's
Yeah, I think you either
Yeah.
love him or you hate him, right?
yeah. Was he good or?
He was
I
good.
thought-
I had a sick battle with him actually.
Did ya?
Him and Truex, yeah.
Truex. That's whose Smalley car.
Yeah.
James
Yeah.
Small runs his car, yeah?
Yeah.
Truex Jr.
Yeah, it was cool. I was like blocking Kyle, he hit me, then I got hit into Truex, and then he lunged me at the last corner, and then we raced side by side to the stage. He got me though.
To the stage win.
To the stage, but I don't know what we're racing for.
I don't understand.
14.
I don't understand the
14th
stages.
or something.
Can you explain stages to me?
Yeah, so it's like it's a 100-lap race, and say first 30 laps at stage one, and then they award points for that, and it's
30 laps. So it's like 30. Hang on,
30
that doesn't add up
Oh, I'll
correctly.
say it's 20, so then
So
you're
there's-
40, then it's 60 laps to go for the race win. So each stage they award points, and that's also for your playoff.
It's like
points,
Tour de France.
I guess, yeah. I don't really watch Tour de France, but
And then the sprinter comes
Yeah.
through at the end and wins the
Yeah,
round
pretty
or
much.
something. Yeah.
yeah. And then at the end of each stage, it's a caution, and then you can pit, and
Yep.
yeah.
Why do they do that?
So that's how they do it, David.
But why?
Well, I think it's actually good because it's a caution, right? So it brings everyone back together. You can pit before the caution.
So you know when it's coming.
So then
basically.
it adds a different, so it adds a bit more
okay.
strategy to the race as well. So
Man, that's so confusing.
I reckon we should bring it here just to make you a little bit more confused.
It's not hard to confuse me.
I reckon we should bin it. So what do you reckon about Sydney? Obviously coming up. That's our next
Sydney,
event.
yeah.
Night
it's
race.
Beautiful. If you're looking for nice
Sunny
bit of real
Doonside.
estate and a good
Do you
place
own
to
a
bring
house
your
there?
family up, Sydney Motorsport Park, 5 kilometres from beautiful little suburb called Doonside. So if you're
out of the
in the
12
area?
rounds we go to, where does Sydney Motorsport sit?
Oh.
Like as like a track, it's like
I can't believe you said that with a straight face, Mark.
out of
love where
12,
you're from, mate.
out of 100%.
Yep.
Out of 12, where does it sit?
I reckon
Like,
Sydney
is it in your
Motorsport Park,
10? Is it in your 10?
absolutely. I think it's a not.
Is it in your top 5?
For what? Favourite places to go?
Yeah,
or,
out of the
or
calendar. I'm
racetracks?
trying to narrow it down to find out.
I'd say top 5, but I think
Really?
I think
so,
to do
so you go Bathurst?
no. I think to do a lap. I don't want to discriminate any other tracks, but
No,
like
you don't have to. We don't. It's about being honest.
it's about going home. But
I don't
like
think it'll get
when
to the
you
10.
when you put green tires on, it's actually and your car's hooked up. It's actually one of the
It's a
most
good place. It's a good place.
rewarding places. But
How often does that happen?
well, you feel really good on greens until someone else goes half a second quicker. But like it is a place
There's
that,
big disparity there. Hey,
but it's a big
Huge
hustle. You got to
disparity.
hustle. I like that long corners and you get it right, you've rewarded all that sort of stuff. But then when you're in a battle and the tires are bleeding off it, it quickly drops out of my top
After-
5 tracks.
After 2
Out of
laps.
your
It
top
goes to 12. It goes to 12 or 13, somewhere there. So,
It's next level,
Yeah.
David.
It's hard. It's
To
one
do
of the
a
worst
lap.
tracks when you're driving and like you think you got stuff under control and then someone comes at you at like half a second a lap and you're just like, fuck.
And the engineer says,
Yeah.
make it hard for them.
Make it
Battle
hard.
it, battle
It's
it,
like,
guys.
dude,
Yeah.
I'm dying. Like, I'm
dying.
Yeah.
I'll pull the radio out when they
Do
say
you?
that.
Have you ever pulled the radio out?
Nah, just tell Potsy, just stop, mate.
Have you pulled the
He's-
radio
he's
out?
good.
Nah,
No, neither have I. No.
it's a bit hard to reach.
No, it's not that hard.
What do you reckon?
He's got
What's
big
the-
arms. Bigger arms than you.
Yeah,
That's
locks
not
out.
hard.
What do you reckon predictions for...
So, hang on, is it in your top 12?
Yeah.
Well, it has to be,
We
'cause
only
we
go
got-
to 12 tracks.
Honestly.
I know, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be funny about it.
Yes, we only go to 12. It's
It
like,
wasn't actually funny, but
yeah.
I actually
Well, I'm
don't
having
mind
a
it.
good time.
I'm kind of like you. It's actually fun to drive in qualifying, but the whole tide egg thing, it's off its chops, which adds to the racing. If you've got a good car, it's awesome. I've just had a lot of shockers there, so
Same.
I'm I'm a little bit
Remember,
burnt by
without
the
bringing up,
place.
Last year,
alarm
I had
bells.
a massive crash there.
Without bringing up bad
Did you?
races.
Yeah.
Remember,
Here we go.
we all blew front tyres there one year.
Oh, yeah.
We literally blew the front tyres off it.
When was this?
After 3 laps.
After 3 laps,
2018.
yeah. It had that much deg, so he hasn't let it go, see?
The whole COVID
It
thing
still
when we went there
burns.
4 weekends in a row. Like,
I only did 2, by the way.
How come?
yeah, what happened there, Dave?
What were
Had
you
to,
doing?
got that AstraZeneca heart now, where I have to go see my cardiologist. And
You got the big bore kit.
yeah, I wouldn't say it's a big bore. Woke me up the other day, actually. It was like 5:30 and I got like an irregular heartbeat and it just went off. And I thought I was having a heart attack, but I wasn't. But yeah, thanks.
When I got my
Bringing that up.
COVID shot, I got it. And I went for a run and I PB'd the next run. I don't know why.
So what do you-
Completely off topic, but
Yeah, right.
Let's not talk about a shit time.
Nah, what do we reckon about night time?
it's when
It's
you sleep.
nighttime, people go to sleep.
No, no.
Is that what you said?
What about racing
Yeah.
at night time? So you guys aren't going to win. You're too clever. You guys aren't
Some
going to
people
win.
do other things.
You're not going to win this race
other
because you're
than
too
sleep.
clever. Following your
I'm
theory.
definitely not clever.
Following your theory. What do you think
I
about
love
night
it.
racing? Are we?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's so good. Adds another element. It's really hard to see. Like when I first drove, what? Depends on how
Do you
they
get
light it.
better or
Remember the
worse?
first time they did it? It was like, it was really hard to see.
Remember
And
the
I
guy
went
in the
worse.
back?
It was real patchy.
It was really
Remember there
patchy.
was
It
a
was really
car
hard
over
to
the
see.
back with his headlights on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
It
distracting.
was.
That pissed me off so much. But it was really hard to see, and I just felt like, because I haven't done a lot of night driving, I felt like I was going like 10 times quicker. And it took me ages for my brain to like relearn everything and go, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's the same, but you just can't see as well. So, yeah, it sucks.
And the fireworks go off, so you know when the winners cross
When
the
the
finish
winners-
line.
Yeah.
But what do you
if,
think?
if you get to see them, you're not too bad because generally you're on that side of the
You're
track.
somewhere there.
Yeah,
Do you
know
think?
what I mean?
It's when you're going into like turn 4 and you're like, damn it. We just got pumped.
Yeah, we got
Pitting.
pumped.
Cut through, pitted.
It's a hard track because there's a big disparity. You can win by a lot or lose by a large margin there. So
Predictions for the weekend?
predictions,
Yeah. Who's going to be fast? Who's not?
oh, probably the same blokes that going to be up the front. But I don't know whether it's going to be like a Ford dominated track or a Camaro
that?
dominated track. So it's really, really hard to figure that one out. I assume
Triple Eight's always pretty
Triple
quick.
Eight's going to be quick always.
They'll bounce back, you reckon?
Oh, of course they do. Yeah.
Tickford's been quick there in the past, up and down a little.
Up and down.
Chaz is really good at Sydney Motorsport Park.
Yeah, usually pretty
Previously,
quick.
he's been really fast. Yeah,
He had no tyre life there last year, but he was fast.
can't even remember how we went last year there.
We were racing each other on the Sunday for about 10th, I think.
Were we? Did you beat me?
I can't
I
remember.
was I crashed and then my car got stuck in no man's land.
Yeah,
The
you were-
camera took a while to find me.
You were the second last
What do you
corner.
mean?
Yeah, he was in the second last corner in the gravel.
Well,
Really?
like, yeah, something fell
you
off
had
my
a big
car.
crash, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, man, it was like 47 Gs. It was massive. Turn 9? You know, that fast
Yeah.
right where you
Right.
sort of bleed into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, something broke when I tipped in at max speed. It was like 200 Ks, and something broke on the front right. And because it's like a rear steer car, sorry, it's a front steer car,
Yeah.
it like just sent me left hard in the fence. I didn't even know there was a fence there, and there was a fence that sort of follows the track and sort of it curves around. So I actually hit it at a really bad angle.
Oh, right.
And it was a big crash, like destroyed the car. And then I was like stuck in a paddock somewhere. I didn't even know where I was because I'd never been there before in my life. And yeah, and it took like 3 or
It took
4 laps
ages,
for
yeah.
them to put the safety car out because they didn't know where I went. You could see me you could see me tumble down the order, and then like a few laps later they cut to me in the paddock, just like looking at my car broken. It was so funny. Well, not really funny, but like
It's funny now.
it's funny now, yeah.
Well,
And then the blokes had to work all night to fix it. And,
hopefully it doesn't happen again, mate. Hopefully
No.
we have a good weekend. But we're going to wrap it up.
Oh, is that
we're done?
done?
That's it? All
We're
right.
done. So it's good to chat.
What are you doing this afternoon?
What are you doing? Invites or no?
For what?
Don't know.
You're going to play Call of Duty?
Very frowned upon. But no, probably go home, do a
Don't you
workout.
play?
I used to play.
What happened?
Just haven't turned it on.
He's
for
still
a couple of
parachuting out
months.
the air. He doesn't really understand.
Oh, that's right. He told me a story about you.
you play.
You get
Different
shot
game.
On
by
the big map, he's like, yeah, you don't play.
No, I
the
don't
big
play
map.
that map.
He plays multiplayer.
Different map.
Oh, do you?
But yeah, thank you,
What are you
boys.
doing, Waters?
Oh, nothing, mate. Just chilling out. I was away for monster stuff on the weekend, so I'm going to have the afternoon at home. But yeah, thanks, fellas. It's been
Thanks
fun.
for having me.
See
Appreciate
you,
Good
it.
luck this
Sydney.
weekend.
We're all friendly, and hopefully Dave can help you out in the championship again.
Yeah.